especially it looks like today into tomorrow are going to be some of the wettest days there. Today also has had a wet start, the overnight especially around the Raleigh, North Carolina area. Nice to see some clearing in your sky, isn't it? After all that rain, just over a ½ inch of rain in 3 hours overnight. We had some heavier downpours too, swamping roads from Greensboro to Durham. Now the rain is still south of town, but guys, if you've been watching this morning for the last 3 hours, this rain has been in the same spot right here from I-95 and just to the east and south of it. So even though it's not raining at the airport, we're still getting some very heavy rain in the area. Going to keep an eye on any flash flooding concerns. This is a perfect setup, right? When you get thunderstorms training right over the same areas, that's a perfect setup to land to some flooding issues. So we will watch that. The rainfall has been over 2 inches across that area, and there's a lot more moisture yet to come. So future radar showing us more rainfall into the Atlanta area right through the afternoon. Look at that big batch of moisture spreading up. The commute home is a mess on I-20 from Atlanta to Columbia and Montgomery. You've got more rain back into your area, heavy at times this evening. Kelly, that'll be a saving grace for sure. It's just so interesting how much work it takes to, keep that city going. What a great city it is, too. All right, one other threat that we need to throw into the mix, which is the risk for tornadoes. Whenever you have a landfalling tropical system, that right front quadrant, which we will be in pretty much here from coastal Louisiana over into Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle, brings in the risk of tornadoes. As tropical bands coming in, you can get these quick spin-ups, and they are quick. A lot of times there's not a lot of warning for them because it happens very quickly. They're not associated with supercells. They're typically very weak and shallow and very short-lived as well, common in that northeast quadrant. And the land interaction plays a role. You just have a change of friction as you move from the thunderstorms move from over the water to over the land. Future radar showing us that we will get these thunderstorms in this morning, lunchtime, New Orleans. Here's a look. You can see that rain moving in through the evening, overnight rounds of rain tomorrow morning. A higher chance of some heavier rain as well, as you can see on our future radar. All right, Kelly, not just the only spot dealing with the big story, the heat. All right, let's get your Tuesday started. We throw the maps on the floor and show you the big picture for today. Here's our front sweeping east, but we go down to the Gulf of Mexico. That's where we are watching potential tropical cyclone number 3 and the impact it will have on the central Gulf Coast. Big rain will be the far-reaching biggest impact, 8 to 12 inches of rainfall in the forecast, plus the heat. And by the way, this heat all being driven by strong high pressure. This could act to steer our potential tropical cyclone. So all coexisting together here, Kelly, when it comes to the big stories that we are watching. Of course, this rainfall, no matter what happens,
exactly.
Potential tropical cyclone, no matter what happens to it, rain will be the biggest factor.
So even if we don't actually get a tropical storm Cindy, flash flood warnings, severe warnings, even tornado warnings are going to be possible today and tomorrow with this tropical cyclone 3, potential tropical cyclone 3 in the Gulf. And then, of course, we've got tropical storm Brett that we're tracking in the southern Caribbean. Relatively rare to have 2 systems
that sticks around for the next couple of days, plus the tropical moisture. Not a good combo, and you see that in the weekend in view. By the way, let me say a happy summer solstice to those of you in the central and mountain and western time zones. Tonight, it happens before midnight. East Coast, it happens just after midnight. Here comes the tropical moisture, and you see that coming in. The front is actually right in here. The moisture comes in regardless of where we get a landfall, if we get a landfall. But don't worry as much about the central circulation as to where the moisture axis will be, and that will stretch from Texas right over into the southeastern states. By Thursday and Friday, we're actually talking up to the Tennessee Valley because we still have that boundary. There's actually a new one coming in, and the tropical moisture is still getting up close to that. And so that's going to help just wring out the moisture. We are looking at some very heavy rain potential getting into the weekend, still, remaining across parts of the southeast. Some of the same locations for a couple of days get rain chances, and you can see how we really don't get to dry out. Even though by Sunday, everything's out of here, we still have that chance of thunderstorms back into Texas and into Louisiana. With that next front that's tracking in south of there will be some thunderstorm chances.